Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om
Yes. So first, let us understand the vision that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had given for the Nithyananda Guru. This absolutely mind-blowing and breakthrough system of school is a revival, a grand revival of the Gurukul education system of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, where the same system that has created kings such as Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, so many other incarnations, that is the exact schools that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving. And of course, still reviving all over the world despite so much persecution. And this is what the anti-Hindu militant forces were trying so much to destroy. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had given a grand vision for Nithyananda Gurukul as a power manifesting school. Today, the Nithyananda Gurukul Balasins have demonstrated their powers of third eye. Many of you, of course, have already known, seen the powerful demonstrations, and even manifested yourselves, and seen how, from a young age, when a child is empowered with the great truths revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from Sanatana Hindu Dharma, how they are able to powerfully live these truths and start the power manifestation. How they have been able to manifest even the powers of the third eye, being able to read and see 360 degrees around them. How they're able to do materialization, teleportation, seeing other places remotely, seeing and scanning for the body and healing. How so many millions have been healed just through one initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This Nithyananda Gurukul was a hub, a school, a training ground for a new generation of Hindus, where these powers from the ancient scriptures are revived back and demonstrated, used, and lived powerfully to live the highest ambition for humankind. That was the vision that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had for the Nithyananda Gurukul, which started in Adi Kailasa Sarvagna Peetham in 2006. And of course, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had been continuously giving programs for children and training children, ensuring that the classes had been established for a Vidyalaya of children all over the world, and e-Gurukuls all over the world. But the first established school was established in 2006 in Adi Kailasa Sarvagna Peetham. And in that time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began the Nithyananda Gurukul. What started out as just a handful of very blessed children became hundreds of Gurukul Balasans, where the revival of the ancient education system, the ancient Hindu education system, came to life. And there are, in this ancient Hindu ecosystem, this ancient Hindu education system is one of the 5 pillars of Kailasa, where the future of Hinduism, the very children who will be the leaders of the nation, the civilizational nation across the world. Those very leaders are trained, are nurtured, and are growing up to be powerful individuals, powerful leaders of the whole world. With this vision, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began, and hundreds of Gurukul Balasans by today are initiated as Gurukul Balasans, as well manifesting Shaktis for the whole world. As you can see every single day, Balasans do the power demonstration in the programs and are continuously manifesting the Shaktis, living these ultimate truths from Sanatana Hindu Dharma. This is a part of the ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had established. And what exactly the anti-Hindus wanted to destroy. And they wanted to do it directly by raiding the campuses, in traumatizing the children, putting them through interrogations that were absolutely torturous for children, especially, and making them go through such violent situations, putting them at risk to being so traumatized in their future. Once again, today we have the sharings of Nithyanandeshwara, who had gone through the attacks even from 2010. And in 2010, we saw the most violent attacks against the whole Adi Kailasa Sarvagna Peetham. 2010 saw one of the most brutal attacks where the entire Adinam was set on fire. The residence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself was set on fire. A fire bomb was thrown at it, and somehow the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had escaped. And all of the Adinavasis around were absolutely going haywire, trying to set off fires, trying to find shelter. And in this environment, children were left vulnerable to the attacks by the anti-Hindu forces and to the absolute devastation of the entire property in Adina. To be absolutely traumatized by the violence executed by the anti-Hindu militant forces that had raided the Adinam, started trespassing, were setting everywhere on fire. So now I request Manitya Prajnanananda Yes. As you can see here, these were some of the attacks that happened in 2010. And we're going to have Nithya Prajnananda share. Each and every one of you, please listen to the story of a survivor of one of the most brutal attacks in the history of Kailasa. We'll be right back with you after a short break to continue the sharing.
Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being, Paramashiv. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Nithyanandam, welcome back, dear viewers. Now we will be entering into the experience of Nithya Prajnanananda, who was in Gurukul since 2007, who's literally grown up within the Kailasa ecosystem, and what all she has experienced from since the attacks of 2010 and into the attacks of 2012. Welcome, Prajnana.
Nithyananda.
So can you share a little bit first about your background and how long you've been in Gurukul and how long you've known Swamiji?
Yes. So I was there in the Nithyananda Gurukul a few years before 2010, 2007. From 2007, I have been there in the Adinam and looking and staying as part of the Nithyananda Gurukul. I would have been just 6 years old at that time, and I had lots of fun in the Nithyananda Gurukul.
Yes, ma'am. And since 2010, you were there when the initial persecution started against Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You were there when the Adinam was attacked, when you were just 7 years old. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes. So at 2010, I did not know what was happening at that time. So I was just in that same, like a daily thing. I wanted to go to the Gurukul. So I used to stay in another building right in front of the Gurukul. So from there, I wanted to go and I just opened the gate and I saw everything was all messed up. And so many people were there inside and fighting. So I really got scared. I saw even my mother in between all of that. I really got so scared and ran back inside my room and shut. Being that young and seeing like a big group fighting right in front of me, literally the first time I had that I knew what fear is at that time. At that period of time, it hit me that what I am living in, there is something more than that is going on. When I saw, I got really scared that not knowing what is happening first, seeing people fighting, holding sticks and hitting each other. That was the scene I saw, and I ran back inside the room from which I came, and my relatives, my aunt who was staying there with me at that period of time, she she was, being a kid, you see adults having a discussion in really fear, a lot of fear. You feel like even the people who you look up to will be there for you. They themselves are in fear, not knowing what to do. I felt like there is no one for me now. Who will be able to help me? They themselves are scared. Everything is scared. At that period of time, who I looked up to, who I thought will be there and be able to solve a situation, themselves was not able to solve. At that period of time, I was so scared, and at that time, my aunt had come to a conclusion that we have to escape from this place to keep our children safe. Otherwise, otherwise these polices and all these people who are there inside, what they will do to the kids, no one knows. So at that time, a small hole was there, fenced up, and in that fence hole, all of us had to go out. And after we went out, also, I turned back at that period of time when we were going out and saw the whole Adinam, the whole of the ashram was filled with smoke. The whole of the ashram was filled with smoke, and
Did you ever think at that time you would ever be able to return to your home, to return to the Father, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who had brought you up as his own daughter, despite you losing your father at a very young age? Did you ever think you were going to get to see your guru again, your home again?
yes, I never thought that I would be able to see the Swamiji ever again. And not just that, I didn't even cognize I would be able to see my mom also that time, because she was there in between that place where I saw full smoke. And the minute I realized that the ashram was burning, and the two at that point of time, the two most important people to me, my mother and Swamiji, my father, both of them, I don't even know if I will ever be able to see. I felt like a kid who has lost everything that is important to her. I felt like the most important things in my life is gone. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be there again in between. When until I was going outside in that fence also, I was not understanding what is happening. But when I went to the fence and just turned back to see, I saw the whole of the ashram was filled with smoke. The whole, and then I come to realize that whoever is important to me, Swamiji, my um, my friends at that period of time, my friends, my Gurukul friends, my my adult friends, whoever you were close to, everybody was in between that smoke. I was full. At such a young age, I had to imagine what is happening to my mom in between smoke. What is happening to my mom in between the fight that is going on in in the ashram? What is happening to my friends? They're still as young as me. What is happening to them? Being that young, I had to visualize and see first, not just in imagination. Right in front of me, I had to see people beating each other up, and I saw, I remember seeing someone throwing stone on the head of one of my friend's dad. I really freaked out when I saw that.
So you were separated from your mother and had to sneak out, escape, go into hiding, but somehow after this initial displacement, you were able to make it back to your home with your mother. So how were you able to come back to the Adinam after this horrific attack and this unimaginable persecution that was going on at that time?
I still cannot believe that an opportunity to enter back inside was even provided. It is just the pure feeling connection that we had, the trust we had that it is possible that we will be able to be helped back. Even if we come back, we will still be the only thing important to my life itself is there here. That brought the happiness that you will never ever get is there here. And the same way, you, if your father is there in between trouble, will you want to leave and go? No. And that is what brought us back. Even though my relatives who had gone outside with this fear that of having their kids in problem has not come back, it is only that joy which I had experienced, the joy which we had experienced, which brought us back to live this kind of a life.
Yes, Ma. And the other day you shared that Swamiji, after losing your father at a very young age, Swamiji finally gave you that fulfillment of a father, that fulfillment of having another parent who's there to take care of you and ensure every aspect of your life is fulfilled.
Yes, absolutely. The loss did not feel like a loss anymore. The minute I saw Swamiji, I felt like, that feeling of when you lost something very important to you, which you have the fear you will never be able to get back, and at last you just get back. Such a thing which is cognized impossible. After death, you don't get back your father, but here I have my father back with me. So that gave me such a fulfillment and joy of being back over here. And that is one of the main reasons that even pulled us back inside over here. Because how can you leave your father somewhere and live somewhere when you know that he is there?
So this was not the only attack that you faced after coming back. This was just one of many attacks by the anti-Hindu forces, by the Neo-Hindutva militants who attacked the Gurukul and the children of Kailasa. Can you share what happened to you in 2012 when the Adinam was on a lockdown and the police forces were raiding the Adinam and attacking the residents and the children? Can you share what happened to you in that experience?
As you know, we were having a lot of fun in Gurukul. Even on that day, we did not really know what is happening. We were just in the Gurukul and having fun. Just we were playing this running race and happened to enter inside our where we used to stay, the 10-room block. It used to be called the 10-room block. So we ran inside the 10-room block area, and all of a sudden, you see some head popping out from the wall. I just I just really got scared and screamed. And when I turned to run back, one more Balasant who was running along with me, she also had turned and saw, and someone is showing a gun right on top of us. That is the first time I know something is happening over here in the Adinam at that point of time. First, I see a gun, a person just pops out from nowhere on top of the wall. It's like a fenced wall. On top of the wall, some police officer just climbed and suddenly shows the gun to me. I really thought that he's going to shoot me for no reason. I didn't even have any idea what is going on. And I just ran from the 10 room block area and ran, and I felt difficulty in breathing at that time. I couldn't control how I'm feeling. I felt really not able to breathe at that time, and went and told my teachers what I just saw, what I happened to see, the gun and the person there. And to protect all of us, the teachers had taken us into the main hall of the Gurukul and gathered us all over there. After some time, we come to know the kids. Not I was at 2012. I was 11 years old. Kids younger than me, kids at 7 years old, 8 years old, were all there along with me. And the minute I ran and told, as much as the Gurukul kids can be protected, the teachers tried to gather all of us. And then the principal had come and told what is happening in the Adinam. There are so many policies that have come and all. The the principal came and told the teachers, and few kids had just overheard that conversation and came and told like all of us. And we became more scared knowing that there are policies all over the Adinam, and there are
Yes.
policies
So at
with
that time, you were just
guns. There are so many policies along with guns. And the saddest part was when one kid wants to go to the washroom, even to go inside the washroom, we had the fear of going alone inside the bathroom. We really were so scared that we wanted to hold each other's hands at that time so that we will feel at least a little bit of comfort. We were so scared at that point of time that we did not even have that courage to go inside the bathroom, inside the toilet alone. We were so scared at that point of a time. So after we came to know that the place where we were is not safe, they decided that group by group we be shifted to another building in the same campus, to another building. So as we were being shifted as groups, so that it will not look like the whole of the kids are moving, that fear that something might happen to us, we decided that we move out of the building group by group. And when we were going as a group, when I was going, I just took a peek of what was happening. Like when we were going as a group, I just turned and saw like what was happening when we were walking. And I saw like so many people, the whole Adinam was full of people, either polices with guns or people wearing all color clothes and with stones, and it was full of people. I don't know who they are, but so many people were there, like fighting with words, having harsh conversations and shouting and etc. So many people were there. That is just how my memory is, and they all looked so scary. After we got shifted, I clearly remember being so hungry. I felt so hungry and I wanted to eat food, and there was nothing to eat. We did not even be given anything to eat. We were not provided anything. And I was there in that room opened the window and I was seeing all these people outside were having feast with whatever food we were supposed to be eating. I saw all those policies. Being a 11-year-old kid who was very, very hungry, I saw through the window that each one of them were having feast and we barely could get even one drop of water to drink.
Actually feels really
Sorry,
sad
sorry for the
and
technical glitch.
really heavy hard to even listen to what you were sharing. So your age was around 5. What was your age at that time, Ma Pragyan?
When I saw the smoke at that time, I was just 9 years old, and when all
Sorry,
this I was going through, I was 11 years old.
11,
So, Ma
11
Pragyana,
years. 11 years old, Ma.
Yes, and along with me, I had kids around me who were just 7 years old or 5 years old, few of them, who were also going the same thing I was going through along with me.
God. Actually, even to come and share, to relive that traumatic experience, just because your parents and you decided to be a Hindu, being a part of Swamiji, being a part of Kailasa, just because of that one decision that you took, the anti-Hinduism as the militant forces, the neo-Hindutva militant forces attacking and making a small, at such a tender age, making you go through, and as you're sharing, so many more children, the minor kids, for even 5 years of age, putting them through severe starvation, putting them through, making them see such gory things of their buildings burning down their living places, making them homeless. It's seriously something too hurtful. Today, Swamiji is serving for actually for last so many years. Even during that persecution, that every time continuously Swamiji is serving for billions, billions of free food served. Actually, we can just see the amount of atrocity, the violence that media is doing, the way that the way media is just so much of violence. And each of you should understand, just at about 12 or 13 or just being so young and just 11-year-old, she was saying how 5-year-old. For us, Swamiji is not just Guru. For us, Swamiji is more than our mother and father. To see so much of violence happening, to see the way we all are forced into something, we don't know what is happening. This is our home. We all are brought up here. We all live here. To see overnight people barging in, breaking things, people just coming and being so violent, screaming out slogans. We didn't know what was happening, but so much of violence. It's just when each of the viewers should understand when Ma Pragyana was sharing, just the 11-year-old girl who has no clue what's happening outside is facing the mob, facing the people, the atrocities that were done. She was put in curfew in her own home and she is not able to understand what is happening. There's no food, so much of mob, media, violence. You all can see the live footage. Actually, what is so painful, especially Ma Pragyana, as I know, being in the people where you're speaking to rose plants and making them itself drop their thorns because you are groomed in a gurukul which is completely non-violent. Even you don't even have anger. You're not even allowed to have anger. You're trained and groomed so beautifully, so spiritually. And after a while, such a protected, incubated ambience is provided. All of a sudden, these terrorists coming and attacking the entire Kailasa, burning it down, seeing such gory things. What was your emotional, what was happening inside you?
Each and every moment, what I was thinking at that age of 7, each and every moment, I thought that after this, will I be able to see my dad, who's Swamiji? Will I be able to see my mom ever again? Will I be able to be in this kind of a place and have fun and continue what I want to do? At that point of a time, what I respected the most, even puja, we were not able to do puja peacefully. We couldn't even chant. We couldn't even ring the bell while doing puja. All we could think about is what will happen to us next? What will happen to us? Will I be able to see my more than everything, Swamiji, ever again? Will I be able to see my mom ever again? Will I be able to? Is Gurukul going to continue to be there? A place where I want to study, the place that I know is best for me. Will it be there? Will it be there for me to continue? Continuous fear of losing my home was there in me at that point of time.
So, Ma Pragnana, I actually want to go back to what you had made, the
Extremely
statement you had made
painful.
earlier about how you were held at gunpoint. You were just 11 years old and you were held at gunpoint. Did you even know who these people were or why they were entering in the Adinam at that time?
By looking at them, I my idea of police at that time. So I by looking at them, I thought they were police. But
So, yes, please continue.
but it was not just police. There were so many people who were so scary, even to be around. They were they made me feel so insecure. What will happen to me? What will happen to the people who I care about the most? My friends, my Swamiji, everybody was just there, and I was so scared that me being a kid itself was shown. They had come to the Gurukul from the wall and peeked with a gun. Me being a kid itself, I was so scared what each one of the adults will be going through. I was
Actually,
so scared
Mom,
what is going
what
on
you're
because
sharing.
at that time I didn't even see my mother for so long, and she was there in that same campus. I haven't seen her for so long, and she was there in that same campus. I I don't even know where she is, or how she is treated, what is going on. I had no idea about it.
So again, you were put in that same insecurity, whether you'll get to see your mother again, whether you'll get to see Swamiji again, whether you'll get to see your guru again, your father. But you had
That
no idea
same
what was going on.
that same energy, the blissful energy space that I could live in the Gurukul, that joy of going and having even plants as your friend, animals as your friend, that is not something you get everywhere. That is only possible in Gurukul, making plants as your friend, talking to the plants, having conversation with animals, and and without any expectations, having somebody who will be there for you. Swamiji, your father. I mean, my father at that. Swamiji is my father, right? He is the only one who is there for me. And being insecure about not getting to be with him anymore, I was so scared. And the only thought at that time that I could get is holding my mala and praying that nothing happens to any one of us. I was holding my mala and praying. Being 11-year-old, the only thing I could cognize and think at that time was holding my mala and praying nothing happens to any one of us, nothing happens to Gurukul, nothing happens to anyone. I was so scared that something is going to happen next second.
And in that moment, being an 11-year-old and seeing the police who you thought were going to protect you, who you thought were there to serve you, holding a gun to you and leaving you in complete fear, and them being the ones attacking your home, your adinam, raiding your home, and leaving you in so much of fear and anxiety. What was your reaction to that? How did you feel seeing that the police, the people that were there you thought to protect you, how did you feel seeing that?
At that point of time, I did not feel like there is anybody who can protect me. At that point of time, I felt like even those people who I thought could protect me, they themselves were there in fear. Police, you know, being still a learner, in the schools, I was taught that the police are the ones who protect you. The police are the ones who are there to take care of what is wrong. At that point of time, my cognition about police from the education itself, I had only had this kind of learning from the Gurukul or anywhere, wherever. That cognition was attacked brutally. The way I saw the police coming with guns even at the kids who have not done anything and disrespecting our own religion in such a way, my cognition, my idea, the root idea that I had, I felt like all the teachings that I had, everything is wrong. I felt like whatever I had learned, everything is wrong. Police over here are not there to help the right, I felt like everything is wrong.
So in 2010, 2012, and even recently in 2017, you shared a few days back, you have been subject to numerous attacks and persecution at the hands of neo-Hindutva militants and at the hands of the anti-Hindu forces. Yet you are still strong and you are still living in Kailasa with the lifestyle of enlightenment. What has made you continuously come back and be living this lifestyle despite so much of insecurity and instability due to these anti-Hindu elements and neo-Hindu forces?
If we decide against, if I know from my heart that if I decide against what I believe to be right, if if I decide to leave, if I decide to take a step like that and fall, then it is equivalent to letting these people think that whatever they're doing is going to make them win, which is not true. What they are doing is completely wrong, and if I am going to let my stability to drop, it is like telling whatever they are accusing us of is true. And I will tell you very clearly that I stand by what decision I have taken for me. I stand how much ever I have to go through until the end. I will go through it, but I will never give them the satisfaction of feeling that they are right, because they are not right with whatever they're doing.
And only the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only being standing for Hinduism. And like you said, standing against these anti-Hindu forces and neo-Hindutva forces. And he is the only hope to revive Hinduism. Again and again, despite relentless persecution, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has stood as the only hope for all of us. So thank you so much, Ma Prajnanananda, for sharing your truly horrific experience and enlightening the viewers on what all persecution the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the children of Kailasa have gone through. Thank you so much for your time, Ma.
Thank you.
And now we will conclude this segment and enter into the Nithyananda Satsang. Thank you.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
नमो नित्याय धामलेश धूतकोकबन्धवे नमो नित्याय नामशोषितालमध्वबान्धवे नमो नित्याय पामरेतरप्रधानबन्धवे नमो नित्याय कालभीत विप्रबालपालते नमो नित्याय शूलभिन्न दुष्टदक्षपालते नमो नित्याय मूलकारणाय दयालवालते नमो नित्याय इष्टवस्तु मुख्यदानहेतवे नमो नित्याय दुष्टदैत्यवंशधूमकेतवे नमो नित्याय सृष्टिरक्षणाय धर्मसेतवे नमो नित्याय अष्टमूर्तये वृषेन्द्रकेतवे नमो नित्याय आपदत्रिभेदडङ्गहस्तते नमो नित्याय पापहारि दिव्यसिन्धुमस्तते नमो नित्याय पापदारिणे लसन्नमस्तते नमो नित्याय शापदोषखण्डनप्रशस्तते नमो नित्याय नित्या वेदयालवे नमो नित्याय दक्षपाणि शोभिकाञ्चनालवे नमो नित्याय पक्षिराजवागकृच्छयालवे नमो नित्याय अक्षिपालवेदपूततालवे नमो नित्याय दक्षहस्तनिष्ठजातवेदसे नमो नित्याय अक्षरात्मने नमाध्वडौचसे नमो नित्याय दीक्षितप्रकाशितात्मतेजसे नमो नित्याय अक्षराजवागते सताङ्गते नमो नित्याय राजदाचलेन्द्रसानुवासिने नमो नित्याय राजमान नित्यमन्दहासिने नमो नित्याय राजघोरकावतं सभासिने नमो नित्याय राजराजमित्रता प्रकाशिने नमो नित्याय दीनमानवालिकामधेनवे नमो नित्याय सूनबाणदागकृत्कृशानवे नमो नित्याय सामरागभक्तरत्नसानवे नमो नित्याय दानबोधकारचण्डभानवे नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द सर्वमङ्गलाकुचाग्रशायिने नमो नित्याय सर्वदेवतागणातिशायिने नमो नित्याय पूर्वदेवनाशसंविधायिने नमो नित्याय सर्वमन्मनोजभङ्गदायिने नमो नित्याय लोकभक्तितोऽपि भक्तपोषिणे नमो नित्याय माकरन्दसारवर्षिभाषिणे नमो नित्याय एकबिल्वदानतोऽपि तोषिणे नमो नित्याय नैकजन्म पापजालतोषिणे नमो नित्याय सर्वजीवरक्षणैकशीलिने नमो नित्याय कीर्तनप्रियाय भक्तपालिने नमो नित्याय दुर्विदग्धदैत्यसैन्यदारिणे नमो नित्याय शर्वरीशधारिणे कपालिने नमो नित्याय पाहि मामुमामनोज्ञ देवते नमो नित्याय देहि मे वरं सिताद्रिगेहते नमो नित्याय मोहितर्षिकामिनी समोहते नमो नित्याय स्नेहितप्रसन्नकामदोहते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द मङ्गलप्रदाय गोतुरङ्गते नमो नित्याय गङ्गया तरङ्गितोत्तमाङ्गते नमो नित्याय सङ्गरप्रवृत्तवैरिभङ्गते नमो नित्याय अङ्गजारये करे कुरङ्गते नमो नित्याय ईशितक्षणप्रदानहेतवे नमो नित्याय आहिताग्निपालकोक्षकेतवे नमो नित्याय देहि कान्तिधूतरौप्यधातवे नमो नित्याय गेकदुःखपुञ्जधूमकेतवे नमो नित्याय रक्षदीनसत्कृपाकटाक्षते नमो नित्याय दक्षसप्ततन्तुनाश दक्षते नमो नित्याय रूक्षराजभानुपावकाक्षते नमो नित्याय रक्ष मां प्रपन्नमात्र रक्षते नमो नित्याय व्यङ्कुपाणये शिवङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय सङ्कटाधितीर्णकिङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय अङ्कभीषिताभयङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय पङ्कजाननाय शङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द कर्मपाशनाशनीलकण्ठते नमो नित्याय शर्मदाय वर्यभस्मकण्ठते नमो नित्याय निर्ममर्षिसेवितोपकण्ठते नमो नित्याय कुर्महेण तीर्णमद्विकुण्ठते नमो नित्याय विष्णुपाधिपाय नम्र विष्णवे नमो नित्याय शिष्टविप्रहृत्कुपाचरिष्णवे नमो नित्याय इष्टवस्तु नित्यतुष्ट सर्वभोगदायिने नमो नित्याय शक्तिकल्पितप्रपञ्चभागिने नमो नित्याय भक्तसङ्कटापहार योगिने नमो नित्याय युक्तसन्मनस्सरोजयोगिने नमो नित्याय अन्तकान्तकाय पापहारिणे नमो नित्याय शन्तमाय दन्ति चर्मधारिणे नमो नित्याय सन्तताश्रितव्यथाविदारिणे नमो नित्याय जन्तुजात नित्यसौख्यकारिणे नमो नित्याय शूलिने नमो नमः कपालिने नमो नित्याय पालिने विरिञ्चि मुण्डमालिने नमो नित्याय लीलिने विशेषरुण्डमालिने नमो नित्याय शीलिने नमः प्रपुण्यशालिने नमो नित्याय बुद्धिमुक्ति दिव्य भोगदायिने नमो नित्याय शक्तिकल्पितप्रपञ्चभागिने नमो नित्याय भक्तसङ्कटापहार योगिने नमो नित्याय युक्तसन्मनस्सरोजयोगिने नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे
ओम जय नित्यानंद जय
ॐ नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Mahants, Tanidar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen, listen intensely. Divya Sarira, the body, indestructible, effulgence, which is inside all of us. Please understand, this Divya Sarira is the core component of all of us. There is no person who does not have Divya Sarira. Everyone has a Divya Sarira. How much ever you think you are good or bad, you think you are God or demon, whatever you think, you have a Divya Sarira. That Divya Sarira strengthened, energized, inspired by sattvic food to the body, sattvic food to the mind, sattvic food to the consciousness. Enjoy these three in your life continuously. Don't worry about what should be negated. See, focusing on what need to be negated makes you very depressed, even feeling deprived. Instead, enjoy what need to be gained. Listen. I've always seen in this 40 years of my Chaturmasya, please understand, it has become almost 40 years now, coming Chaturmasya. This Guru Purnima is my 40th Chaturmasya. In my 40 years of Chaturmasya, Chaturmasya is the 4-year vow, 4-month vow. Chaturmasya means in Sanskrit, the exact meaning is 4-month. That 4-month vow, sannyasis take to replenish themselves, rejuvenate themselves with this sattvic energy, feeding the body with intense sattvic food, feeding the mind with intense sattvic food. Mind has a beautiful sattvic food. Feeding the consciousness with intense sattvic energy. And strengthening the Divya Sarira. The whole purpose of Chaturmasya is that only. These 4 months focused on that strengthening of the Divya Sarira. See, if the Divya Sarira in you, the self-effulgent light body in you, if that is strong, you are an enlightened being. You enjoy best things of the consciousness, your existence. You enjoy the best gifts of your existence. If that self-effulgent Divya Sarira gets more and more covered, you get deluded, suffer with the external world, delusions, delusion, whatnot, whatever. Now I don't want to get into the negative side description. If you miss strengthening Divya Sarira, what happens? I don't want to waste time on that. I only wanted to describe how to strengthen the Divya Sarira. Self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasa Sutta Sarira, Daiva Sarira. All of us have. The methodologies to strengthen the Divya Sarira and manifest powers of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, and powers of Paramashiva. This truth is the message from Paramashiva directly to the whole humanity. Let me explain this truth, this message. Please understand. Yesterday, many people were asking me, Swamiji, in the pre-satsang, your sannyasis and sannyasinis and whole Kailasa and Sangha is explaining all the persecution you went through and so much of material evidences, facts are presented by them. What they are talking in the pre-satsang yesterday or last few days, and when you come for satsang, what you are speaking means what I am speaking and what they are presenting, both are not even connected. Many people are questioning me. Listen, please understand. They are talking about what unconscious human beings have done to us. I am talking about what Kailasa is giving it to all of you. Please be very clear. My work, my responsibility, my focus for which I happened is to bring the greatest gifts from Mahakailasa, as I said, the ground zero, where decisions are made, where the consciousness is making decisions about the existence. I am straight coming from that space. Straight I am from that space now. So I am sharing what Mahakailasa, Paramashiva wants to share with you all. I am going to give what I need to give it to the world. And what my sannyasis are telling in the pre-satsang hosting, it is true. I have been attacked. My sannyasis have been attacked. My sangha has been attacked. It is true. They are telling what the unconscious humanity has given to us. See, I wanted to share three things with you all. First, what I need to give to the humanity. Gifts from Mahakailasa. The signs of enlightenment, the signs of power manifestation, the signs of becoming superconscious beings. This is the essence of why this Aushadha science, the thoughts can be used to program plants, herbs. I have already proved this not only through me, through my Gurukul Balasans. My Balasans can talk to any rose plant for 10 days without touching the rose plant, make that rose plant drop all their thorns, not one. Hundreds of rose plants under CCTV camera. All my kids do is they go and sit and talk to those plants, relate with those plants, give them the love, feeling secured, energy, and consciousness. Those plants just drop the thorns. I have proved this science multiple times, thousands of times, through many of my balasans, in many of my ashrams, and still I can prove, I can demonstrate even now. So this is the science. And now I want to tell you the next level. Any disease, the cure needed for the disease is a conscious energy which need to be inserted into your body, can be programmed into any herb, and that herb can be given to you, you will be healed. It's a science. It's a greater science. This science is called Aushadhi. This is the core science of materia medica of Hindu medicine. Understand? I've learnt this Aushadhi science from my three gurus. My gurus, three of them are masters of this Aushadhi science. Isakki Swami and Kuppammal. I always considered both of them as together, one being, because actually one being used both the bodies. I know for sure. Only one person used both the bodies. And Raghupati Yogi. We even have a beautiful photograph of Raghupati Yogi personally applying an Aushadha on one of his disciple. The disciple, I think, is from outside India, abroad. He had some paralytic attack. Just only in 3 days, my Guru has healed him completely with Aushadha and Narayana Swami Tata. These three masters of this Aushadha science gave me this knowledge. Of course, ultimately, Arunagiri Yogeshwara Paramashiva himself showered the whole experience and expertise. Listen. Herbs can be programmed. Plants can be programmed. Consciously programmed. This is the Hindu materia medica science. If somebody, it is 100 times more than getting any MBBS, MD or anything. Unfortunately, Hindus neither understood nor recognized due to the continuous persecution done on them, genocide done on them. All the knowledge of the Hindu tradition was destroyed, and even Hindus are made to lose confidence on the knowledge. And after a few generations of brainwashing, even Hindus feel all these are false, and they attack the Hindu gurus who are trying to revive all these great truths. It's like some part of your own body destroying your body, like autoimmune disorder. Hindus have been infected by the anti-Hindu elements with the autoimmune disorder. Part of your own body destroys your body, like HIV virus, this AIDS. That kind of a mental setup has been infused, consciousness has been infused into Hindus. And unfortunately, due to this hundreds of years of persecution and making sure all this knowledge not available to common Hindus, this all made to look like a myth, fake stories, legend, or maybe long before, thousands of years before, this science was there, but now it is not there, or it is not possible to revive. All these kind of ideas are inserted into the common Hindus' minds, and anybody who is trying to revive the science is beaten black and blue and destroyed. See, unfortunately, Hindus lost the understanding about this collective integrity. See, if a ship has to stay afloat, all the mechanisms in that ship need to stay integrated. It can be the maintenance engineer or the cleaning staff, captain, all the equipments fixed in the ship, everything, the machineries and all human beings, all of them need to be integrated for the ship to stay afloat. The maintenance supervisor cannot say, I have done my job, but the cleaning staff is not doing his job. What can I do? Anyhow, if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed because I have done my job. If a maintenance engineer thinks he is a fool because when the ship sinks, he is also going to die. Not only is going to lose his job, he is going to lose his life. I see the photograph of my guru, Raghupati Yogi, applying Aushadha on a patient and healing him from stroke. Maybe he had a stroke and some problem in his spine. So Raghupati Yogi applied the Aushadha and healed him completely. I have seen the Raghupati Yogi's love and compassion. Now listen, let me tell you. For the ship to stay afloat and reach the place where it need to reach, everyone in the ship need to be integrated. It's called collective integrity. A maintenance engineer cannot think, oh, I have done my job, but the fuel manager is not doing his job, or the cleaning person is not doing his job. So if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed. I will not be questioned. I am safe. Let whatever happens to others, or whatever others do or don't do, what is there for me. That level of integrity will not work for the ship to stay afloat. This is exactly done by the Hindus. In the modern day, everyone says, oh, I have tried my best. I have done my best. But others are not doing. What can I do? I have seen this as a typical mold. Same narrative. Whether it comes to reclaiming the political legitimacy of the Hindus, or reclaiming their temples, or reclaiming their organizations and religious freedom, or any guru's organizations running. Please understand, any problem Hindus are facing, still being the slave. Please be very clear. Any Hindu not living under the Hindu constitution is a slave. This is a definition. How the Muslims are very clear. If you are not living under the Islamic law, Islamic constitution, you are a slave. So be very clear. Hindus should understand, if you are not living under Hindu constitution and Hindu law, if you are not living somewhere, please listen. Let me put it very clearly. If you are living in a place where Veda Agamas are the constitution and Manusmriti is the jurisprudence, you can freely declare, you can openly declare, you are a free Hindu. You are a Hindu with freedom to practice Hinduism. Anyone living anywhere where the Veda Agamas are not constitution and Manusmriti is not jurisprudence, you are a slave. At least realize it. Wake up to the truth, reality. What you should do, all that I don't know. I'll at least tell the truth. At least wake up to the truth. Be very clear about it. So whether you ask the Hindus, why are you living a slavery life? Why you don't have a religious freedom? Why your temples are not under you, it's under the government? Why your temple wealth is not used for running gurukuls, the Hindu schools? Why your temple wealth is not being used to develop and spread Hindu medicines? The most funny thing, many of the so-called Hindu ashrams and Hindu organizations run Christian medical institutions. They are not realizing we have a great Hindu medical science. Because the Hindu medical science is neither given legal legitimacy nor given social legitimacy. It's always under constant threat. Even though the Hindu medicinal system is its depth and breadth, everything is far more than any other medical system in the world. "2,000 years before, our guys have performed cosmetic surgery. The Hindu doctors and Hindu medical visionaries like Shushruta, many of the Hindu surgeons, if we have developed our science and retained what we developed, today the Hindu medicine would have been the most powerful. And Hindu medicine is always about the healing and cure, it has nothing to do with monetizing. See, the Hindu medicine is kept in pure form without economical agendas and political agendas by being kept with the Brahmanas. Neither the economical agendas of the Vaishyas can interfere, nor the political agendas of the Kshatriyas can interfere with the Hindu medicinal system. The whole knowledge was vested with the Brahmanas. And please, all of you understand, when I talk about the Varna, it is based on the quality of a person, not by birth. You ask any question to Hindus, why your medical system, Hindu medicinal system is destroyed? Why you guys are not having any respect for the greatest and oldest jurisprudence, the Hindu law Manusmriti? Everyone will have one answer. Oh, I am done, I am doing whatever I can, but others are not doing. What can I do? Exact answer. A maintenance engineer in a ship, if he gives, what will happen to the ship? That exactly same thing is happening to these guys. We need Hindus to start thinking with a collective integrity. Not only I will do my job as maintenance engineer, I will make sure the fuel manager does his job as fuel manager. And cleaning person does his job as a cleaning person. We need that kind of an ecosystem for Hinduism to be revived. I decided very clearly that can be done only in a place where we have political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the grace of Paramashiva, I got a place. Maybe small, but I got a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty for Hinduism. Hindu nation, Kailasa. Only in this place, this collective integrity ecosystem can be built. A maintenance engineer spends 60% of his working time for his job and the other 40% to integrate with other teams and make sure the other teams are also in integrity so the ship stays afloat. And I tell you, many of my Adinavasis who are still there in Adi Kailash or in our ashram, or some of the Adinavasis who left, many of them are highly integrated. Unfortunately, they are not trained in this vision, science of collective integrity. See, many of them are very highly integrated. They say, I have done my job. I am very integrated. Swamiji knows. What can I do if others are not doing? That is not going to bring the result. If a maintenance engineer, even if he is highly integrated and he doesn't care about the fuel manager properly adding fuel to the ship engines, the ship is going to sink and you may not Maintenance engineer may not be blamed, but he is going to lose his job and life. Many of the individually integrated people in my Sangha missed this truth. Only with the collective integrity, the ship can stay afloat. If not, you may not be blamed because you have been integrated. But the final result is not going to happen. You are also going to lose your job and life both. Thoroughly understood. Hindus have been beaten too long. And maximum they have the energy only to be individually integrated. They don't have energy to manage the collective integrity. So only the captain has to be responsible for the collective integrity. The collective integrity, education and evolving a structure with a collective integrity. For reviving Hinduism, we need a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the blessings of Paramashiva, Ganapati, Kalabhairava, all the gods and goddesses of Kailasa, Bhuma Devi, we got a place for Kailasa with the political sovereignty and legitimacy. We have a place. More than one place, actually. We have a place now, more than one place. I tell you, I have to do it. I cannot waste time in blaming, in cursing. I don't have time for that. I'm already 43. I have to do it. Of course, the grace of Paramashiva, we did it. We have a place now. The base is ready. Now the collecting the individuals and organizing. Even now I can see I have amazing individuals who are so highly dedicated and integrated to me. I can name every one in front of me. If you see the integrity of Ma Divyananda, she is equivalent to a Nayanmar. Push Murugai and Saras Murugai. Sumati, Ma Parameshwara, Karunananda, Ma Paramananda. I can go on reading everybody. I tell you, I never praise Ma Pranapriya, her integrity. If I need a kidney, I don't need, I will never need, I am very healthy and I am going to live a healthy life. I am giving you, for example, if I need a kidney, I will take only from Ma Pranapriya because she will not even repent 1 second, oh, I gave my kidney to Swamiji. That kind of integrity. But this individual's integrity will not be enough. We need collective integrity. There are so many people who gave their life to me Not just their wealth, they will even give a body organ to me if I need. If I need a kidney, I don't know how many people will apply to donate. If I need an eye, I don't know how many people will apply to donate. I have such highly integrated, dedicated, devoted people. But unfortunately, none of them understand that it is a collective integrity which is needed to make Kailasa successful. Not just individual integrity. Everyone is so happy and satisfied and fulfilled. I am individually integrated to Swamiji. Hey, that is not enough. I am telling you, na. Pushp and Saras Murugai, I am giving you an example. Saras Murugai and Pushp Murugai, they gave all their wealth to me. Sarvavari Tyagis, not even 1 second they even felt did they do right or wrong. They know for sure giving everything to Swamiji is the ultimate right best thing. As I told, if I take a kidney from Mahaprana Priya for me, not even 1 second she will repent or think, or she will not even have a second thought. Did I do right or wrong by giving my kidney to Swamiji? Never ever she will have a second thought. I have such highly integrated people. You see, these few names I uttered because they are in front of my eyes. And I have long list. The names I have not uttered. But unfortunately, none of them understand just the individual integrity is not enough for the ship to stay afloat. It is collective integrity that is required. Pranapriya will not have any problem to give her kidney to me. She will not even have a second thought. But she cannot go for rounds all over the campus and make everyone work and keep everyone's integrity. Because she doesn't understand. It is collective integrity that keeps a ship stay afloat. Same way Saras Murugai. She will work 24/7 for me. But she cannot ask the other people in the team to work. I tell you, this is one of the biggest curse Hindus are suffering. Everyone feels, oh, I am integrated, I will do what I need to do. Others are not doing, what can I do? It is captain's responsibility in making collective integrity happen, everyone to be integrated, not mine. Sometimes people in the ship, one side maintenance team enjoys the other side maintenance team failing, thinking, oh, see how we are victorious now, they are failing, and that side of the ship, such big holes are happening. Hey, if the water comes in and the ship sinks, all of you are going to die. Why don't you understand? Hindus lack this understanding. in every level. Whether, see, a major 100 problems of Hindus, if you list, their temples are not in their hands. All the income, money comes to the temple. For spreading Hinduism is not used for that purpose. And all the wealth dedicated and donated for Hinduism by their ancestors is not used for that purpose. Somebody was telling me the other day, I'm not talking about one state or any one country, and I don't interfere in any country's internal administration and all that. I am talking to Hindus to wake up. Wherever you are suffering slavery, you need to understand. Many of the wealth dedicated by their ancestors to revive and maintain Hindu arts, Hindu medicine, Hindu spiritual truths, the wealth is not being used. Whether it's a political slavery or the persecution Hindus suffering, or not having the religious freedom to own their religious worship places in their control, not having the freedom to practice their religion as they want, as the agamas, their religious scriptures describe, not able to maintain and hold their religious organizations or religious wealth under them. You ask any question, any problem to any Hindu thinkers, think tanks, Hindu organizations, Hindu leaders, Hindus, whether common Hindu or Hindu thinkers, ask them, any of them, these questions. Why the Hindu gurus are being attacked left, right, center through the hate speech, and systematically the Hindu organizations are pulled down, collapsed, and why Hindus are keeping quiet without defending the Hindu gurus who are the... See, Hindu gurus are attacked to destroy Hinduism. Please understand, the anti-Hindu elements, their goal, their aim is Hinduism. Because the Hindu gurus are defending Hinduism and promoting Hinduism, they are being attacked. And Hindus are not waking up to this truth. You ask any of these questions, this top 100 questions, top 100 problems. You list top 100 problems of the Hindus. Getting bullied in the cyberspace. So much of cyber bullying. All the major social media organizations are anti-Hindu, racist. So much cyberbullying, racist attacks on Hindus. They don't have their temples under their control. Their gurus are being attacked left, right, center. Every day one guru is pulled down with false accusations, false cases, lawfare, hate speech, very systematically. List all these 100 problems and ask these questions. Everyone will say, oh, I am doing whatever I can. But others are not doing. What can we do? We need Hindu leaders who understand collective integrity truth. It is collective integrity which is going to which is going to keep the ship stay afloat. Even if you have only 10 people in your team, if you are able to make that whole team collective integrity, your Kailasa will be successful. You can be head of a Kailasa and it will be successful. I tell you, in every level, I have to do my responsibility. In my responsibility, things to do list, foremost, first priority is to bring all the great superconscious gifts from Kailasa and share it with you all. That's my first priority. As I told, strengthening your Divya Sarira with the right methodologies, making your body sattvic through yoga, right aushadha and sattvic food, making your mind sattvic and powerful through completion, unclutching, nirvikalpa samadhi, making your consciousness powerful by that sattvic Paramashivananda, introducing literally the existence, conscious existence of Paramashiva. You just know Paramashiva is alive and he is in me. He is sitting alive, blissful, with his broad Swarupa. Paramashiva Paramburul, knowing he is alive in you. Makes your consciousness sattvic. My first and foremost responsibility is to bring these great gifts to all of you. And to bring these gifts to all of you and share it with all of you, making all of you enlightened and enjoy. This is my first and foremost responsibility, and this is my first priority. My second priority, second work is making all my Sangha, people who have given their life to me, making them understand the great truth of collective integrity. As I told, I have the best people, most dedicated. One of the most sweetest message I received in last few days is Akhil Kodali sending me message, Swamiji, please come to satsang. I miss you too much. I could not control my laughter. Actually, this message from Akhil Kodali has put such a wide smile on my face. Hey, this fellow having so much romance and love. I tell you, I have best people around me. Akhil will give anything he has for me, will not even think he has given that to me. He will literally feel he is enjoying that through me. That kind of a love. I have such highly integrated people. But unfortunately, all of them need to understand the importance of collective integrity. It is only the collective integrity which will keep the ship afloat, successful. Write 108 times collective integrity, collective integrity, collective integrity, collective integrity. Not selective integrity or individual integrity alone. Individual integrity is okay, good. But it is collective integrity. Only that can keep the ship afloat and successful. My second responsibility is making my Sangha, Kailasa, all the people who gave their life to me, who gave their individual integrity to me, making them realize collective integrity's importance. I think in all our ashram, in every room, we should put a small board beautifully. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat. Not just individual integrity. So, the people who are working in accounts department, distributing money, and the people who are working in Goshala and keeping the Goshala clean and cows healthy, happy, and the people who are doing the agriculture and growing the herbs, and people who are doing puja in the temple, everyone need to have integrity to keep the ship afloat. The collective integrity only will keep the ship afloat, making the people who declared their integrity to me, making them realize the importance of collective integrity. I have some people highly dedicated, like Sri Shanta Priyananda. He will be absolutely obedient to Guru Vak. Anything I say, he will simply obey. But complete loose, cranky. He cannot even talk to others. Make a simple coordination. Even simple coordination he cannot do. Sri Shanta Priyananda, write 108 times. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat. Collective integrity makes the Kailasa successful. Collective integrity only will make my life successful. If one department fails, then be very clear. Everyone is going to not only lose the job, lose the life, because the ship is going to sink. In all our ashrams, all our temples, all our monasteries, all our gurukuls, we should have a clear board. Almost like every hall, every room, even the devotee's house where you are literally living like an extended Kailasa, you should put a board. It is collective integrity that makes your life and Kailasa successful. People who can make collective integrity successful are the leaders. Working with others, whatever need to be done, making it happen. My second responsibility is teaching my Kailasa people the collective integrity. Third, my third work is making Hindus aware how they are being cheated, exploited, destroyed, hit, persecuted. I tell you, one of the worst thing is Hindus are not even realizing they are being persecuted, they are under siege. Very active war is going on. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking, dying religion. Sorry for using the word dying. Fastest shrinking religion. Go and see the statistics. Don't try to come and kambusutufai here. Go and see the statistics. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking religion. Just see last 100 years track record. You will understand what I am saying. These three are my important responsibilities. Let me do my first responsibility. Inspiring, initiating, making all of you understand in every level working with your body, with your mind, with your consciousness, and experiencing Divya Sarira, the divine conscious body Understand these few principles. These few principles which I am going to share with you all now are like universal. Sarvabhaumya. Vrataha. These are like universal vows, universal principles. Satvik means anything which awakens the qualities of consciousness in you, like extreme love, fulfillment. I tell you, when I manifest from Samadhi, the kind of the love and joy, excitement, intensity I feel, actually this withdrawing from the society, I am enjoying like anything. I am basically a loner. Enjoys is aloneness. I don't feel intimidated or disturbed by the crowd. Thousands coming. No, I don't feel disturbed. It's not that I hate people. No. But I enjoy my space just being with me in Samadhi. It is such an extraordinary living joy, living experience of bliss, not imagination, theory, visualization, fantasy. No. Living. How? You feel you are alive in your body. Bliss is a living experience for me in Samadhi. It is just alive. Anything infuses that bliss, alive, as living experience in you is sattva. That is what I call good food. Good food is sattva. Sattva is the good food. I am getting so many questions now alive. The live questions. Bhushanananda is asking, Dear Swamiji, what more can I do to keep the boat afloat? Bhushanananda, first drop all your fears, delusion. Go back to Adi Kailash. Decide Your life is to keep the collective integrity. Sincere decision, intention to keep the collective integrity is enough. That will inspire everyone. Please understand, anyone who lives in my Kailasa, all over the world, whether it is a Adi Kailasa or Salem or Biddi or Tiruvannama, anyone who lives in my Kailasa, naturally, they have declared their individual integrity to me. They don't need to be inspired. They need to see others are also working for collective integrity. So let me also work for collective integrity. That's all. We just need few examples who are sincerely working for collective integrity. Then everyone will simply decide, yes, collective integrity is my life. Collective integrity is my life. Collective integrity keeps the boat afloat, keeps the ship afloat. They just need few examples who are sincere to work for collective integrity. Bhushanananda, go to Adi Kailasa, be an example. Through your sincerity, show that you want everyone to come to collective integrity, constantly holding the space, talking to everyone, reaching out to everyone, inspiring everyone, educating everyone about the collective integrity and how only collective integrity is going to make the ship afloat. Individual integrity alone is not enough to keep the ship afloat. You realizing and making everyone realize, that will only make the ship afloat. Bhushanananda, I know you are integrated to me individually, but you need to work for collective integrity. That is what is the real leader. Leader is a person who works for collective integrity, not just individually integrated. As I said, I have many people who will just be happily ready to donate their kidney for me, but cannot go around and inspire others, ask others, work with others, and make others also integrated and make the collective integrity. I'm just seeing all the questions, live questions. Everyone is asking, how can we make the collective integrity happen? Actually, there is no manual for it. You need to start working with people. You need to start listening to people. You need to start bringing completion with yourself and with people. You need to start building team. We have a clear process. Manifesting everyone's reality. That used to be the syllabus for Inner Awakening 4th level. We had Inner Awakening level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, where everyone's vision, ambition is shared and everyone tries to help to make everyone's vision into reality. So that should become the ecosystem, the collective integrity should become the ecosystem of every Kailasa. Any Kailasa where the collective integrity become ecosystem, that Kailasa will be successful. That's all. Maybe you can all think about collective integrity and have a Vakyartha Sadas about collective integrity. Not having collective integrity is the source reason and sole reason for all the problems of the Hindus. Any Kailasa brings collective integrity as the ecosystem will be successful and solve all problems of Hindus. See, when a collective integrity is brought, everyone in the team will be successful. Everyone will be successful. Simple, super determinism to have a collective integrity brings collective integrity. That's what I am doing. How much I am attacked, abused from externally and even from internally, how many ways I have been attacked. But super determinism to keep the collective integrity, that made the Kailasa successful. Kailasa happened. That is making the Kailasa stay afloat and successful. Let's do Vakyartha on this and bring all your questions. I'll answer all those questions tomorrow in the next satsang live. The next live satsang. I don't want to say tomorrow. Next live satsang. And also we will start the Parashakti, Paramashakti, Devi Bhava Darshan and Akashic readings. Soon. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all work on this collective integrity. Let's all radiate with collective integrity also. Integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, the Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपा
Holiness. Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones upside power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained what is power manifestation. The science of power manifestation. It's a science because it is repeatable and all of us can manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Experiencing the superconscious breakthrough in each of us is science of power manifestation. The Shastra Pramana, the evidences from the Shastra, the scriptures, for proving it is science. The Shastra Pramana are eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, experience and the results of the Aptas, who are the Rishis, Munis, Kanas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, all of them manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, which is authentic, time-tested and scientific and foolproof. Bhagavan has beautifully made us understand that how these humans became the superconscious being are the Aptas, who are the authority of Hinduism. Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana are the account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of each power manifestation, Bhagavan's very own Leelas. Bhagavan has beautifully explained in the satsang how
he had been in the space of oneness and manifested Kailasha as a superdetermination. He is making us understand how the collective integrity can manifest Kailasha in our life. Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramanas are the evidences from all the experience of the devotees, disciples, and followers all around the world manifesting the powers of Paramashiva initiated by Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan is very clear that he has manifested in all of us to experience the superconscious breakthrough. He has clearly said that whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, I myself will be there and manifest through them all the auspiciousness and abundance. Again and again, when you are in the conscious space, even as little, and simply your whole reality shifts into the superconscious space and manifest all that abundance and beautiful healing and all that you are cherishing. Bhagavan beautifully says, if you're $1 trillion kid, somebody says, hey, wake up. You are $1 trillion kid. How would you feel? And what would you do? What would you experience? That is exactly how you wake up from this struggle and to understand that Paramashiva is all you are, and manifesting as Para Shakti is the most beautiful space of oneness with Paramashiva. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Again and again, Bhagavan gives us the thoughtless space to make us understand thinking is not required. The way we are withdrawing from thinking is not thinking, but becoming aware and not thinking is the ultimate space of oneness with Paramashiva. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana are from the Veda Agamas, where Bhagavan has beautifully given from the Sarvajnatma Agama today for the power of all-knowing, Sarvajnatva.
Agama, verse 15. एवमेकात्मभावेन संस्थितस्य तु योगिनः सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रवर्तेत विकल्परहितस्य तु एवमेकात्मभावेन संस्थितस्य तु योगिनः सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रवर्तेत विकल्परहितस्य तु.
Bhagavan Parameshwara says, within such a yogi who established himself in absolute non-dual oneness with Lord Shiva and who keeps himself free from all sorts of differentiating notions, the exalted supreme power of all-knowingness, Sarvajnatva, gets unfolded in all its fullness. Bhagavan beautifully says how we are differentiating ourselves from others, from other objects, other beings, other things that are around us. Beautifully says that how God, Paramashiva, lives in the stones, breathes through the trees, moves through the animals, and manifests through the humans as superconscious being. Beautifully, if we understand that everything that exists is a dimension of Paramashiva manifesting as that reality. If we understand how we can understand a clay dough, a kid is playing with a clay dough, making a pot in a clay, making a house in a clay, and a doll in a clay. All the material that is a clay, the very source material is a clay. Same way, the very source material is consciousness, Paramashiva. And each one of us looking in and searching for that space and discovering that space is the science of our manifestation. And Bhagavan initiates us into that space for us to experience the higher superconsciousness, who we are. And that is what Bhagavan's play for all of us, Guru's blessing for all of us to recognize ourselves, who we are, what we are, and how we exist, the very core of us. When Arunagiri Nadar, when he was doing all kinds of wrong things, literally a womanizer, he wanted to commit a suicide and he went to Tiruvannamalai temple and climbed on the top and he jumped. But a yogi came and helped him and told him he blesses him with all the powers of Sarvajnatva and he can simply start singing the praise of the Lord. And after that, he composed the whole Tirupugal. And all these great saints, how they happened on planet Earth and how they discovered themselves and manifested these reality as the beautiful space of oneness. Adi Shankara, when he was given a gooseberry by a lady, simply that gratitude that she had made him shower all the golden gooseberry as auspiciousness and abundance. He was a 7-year-old boy, he was not schooled, and how did he know the Kanakadara Sostra? Nobody taught him, and nobody told him if you sing this, they will get the showering. Nothing. He just downloaded in him, and he gave that to the planet Earth. All these great things which are given to planet Earth gets downloaded, whether it is Einstein, Newton, or Adi Shankara. It is Paramashiva who is manifesting and playing the Leela in our life. Again and again, all these discoveries and invention clearly shows us how the oneness space manifests as powers. And beautifully, Bhagwan, when he was in the womb of his mother was reciting the Abhirami Andadi. And simply when he came out and he was like 2-3 years old, when he started talking, he was reciting the whole thing. Now science has proven that if you teach a different language to the child which is in the womb and the mother doesn't know, when the child comes out even as young as 1 year, it can speak that new language. All these signs are known now, but we are already downloading all that for thousands of years. And such a beautiful space of oneness, we can download any information. The Balasans of Nithyananda Gurukul, they were put into a test. They were asked to sit on the stage of 10 of them, and each one was given a test which they don't know their grade nor the content of the subject they are going to be examined. They have to simply download the answers and they have to tell the answers in front of the audience on the stage, keeping an exam which is higher than their level, which they have no idea what the subject is. And still, all of them performed amazingly. They got 40 to 60%. Simply amazing marks by downloading the whole science. This was proven in Nithyananda Gurukul. Bhagwan himself manifested through each of the child, and simply they were so happy that they could write exams which they don't have to study anymore. Here, Guru Namachivayam, Bhagwan's one of the favorite. He was born in Karnataka and he moved to Thiruvannamalai where he wanted to sing on Lord Shiva to enter the temple, but he didn't know. So every day he'll go there, make all the gestures and everything, and he will move away. Seeing this, one of them thought that he was misbehaving in front of the temple, took the stick and started beating him. So when he was beaten by a stick, he sings to the Lord, "Oh Lord, finally you made me do it. Otherwise I would have never done it." And he sings in Tamil, and the door opens and he simply surrenders, thanking Bhagwan for the beating that he got for singing the verses on Shiva to open the door. Even he thought that hitting was the right appropriate thing for him to expand into the superconscious space. Being in that oneness space, that everything is auspiciousness, everything that happens only expands to the more and more higher reality. Oneness with Paramashiva is the ultimate space that you can experience. Beautifully, Bhagwan explains how he is manifested the power of downloading Hindi. And so beautiful, he speaks and in Hindi and narrates the instant how it is happening in him. In the Atma Pramana.
See, the possibility of the human life is what we call Kundalini energy. Possibility of human life. There are multiple possibilities in you. It is like in set-top box. You have the possibility of 170 channels. But which channel you open is up to you. Reminding you about your possibility. And I also yesterday tried one more funny thing. It was very successful. Trying to pick up Hindi through Akashic records. I was able to very successfully. I can say at least 25 sentences I picked up. I just sent the Sanskrit statements. Usually I think in Sanskrit, means there is no individual free will and thinking, but the thinking is realized by my inner space first in Sanskrit, then it gets translated either into English or into Tamil. If I'm doing some administration work, that gets translated into Tamil. If I'm giving satsang, it gets translated into English. So yesterday I tried to send that raw material, that Sanskrit, into this Hindi software, and the statements came out. Kundalini is your possibility, the multiple possibility. After 25 statements, I think I myself got overexcited. So the moment I get overexcited, I fall into samadhi. The overexcitement leads to too much of completion. You can't have the gap between internal and external. So the overexcitement, if you discover something new, how you get excited, like that I started getting excited. So the moment I started getting excited, I saw very clearly the Sanskrit, the words go inside and come out as a diffused energy. The words are not coming out. It's like the vak, what you call vocal cord in that area. From the being, the words enter, and by the time it comes out, it just becomes prana. It is no more a word. It is disintegrated to prana. Means gone back to the original source, the original form. So the original form of a letter is mantra. Original form of a language is mantra, the prana space. I know I'm throwing too many mystical details. Even if you don't understand, it's okay. I just wanted all these to be on record. When science evolves to scale spirituality, that time the scientists will discover the meaning of all these words. Till then, let all these be at least on record. Kundalini is your possibility. You letting your possibility happening in you. You trusting your possibility without self-doubt. You responding to your possibility without the self-doubt is Kundalini energy. Please understand. Each human being allows himself to be expressed, allows his possibility without self-doubt in one dimension, no doubt. Even if you are a useless fellow, to be useless in that dimension, you allow your possibility without self-doubt. Somebody allows their possibility without self-doubt in the field of cooking. This guy may be useless in all other field, but in cooking, he has no self-doubt about himself. He knows any dish he sees, he will be able to make it. Some people will allow themselves without self-doubt in the field of medicine. Maybe an orthopedic surgeon or general physician or eye specialist or dentist. Somebody may express their peak possibility without self-doubt in the field of law. So every human being expresses His peak possibility allows his peak possibility in some one field without self-doubt. It is not that you don't express in any field at all. No, then you can't be alive. Even to be alive, at least in one field, you have to allow the Kundalini to breathe through you. Kundalini has to breathe through you at least in one field. I have seen some people, they will be so cunning. In the cunningness, they will allow their peak possibility. In some field, you allow your peak possibility without self-doubt.
Bhagavan has beautifully said how the possibility in us without self-doubt. And Bhagavan beautifully said how collective integrity, that he is beyond all these struggles that is going on in his life. And he only super determination that he has, that Paramashiva is only real. The side effect is Kailasha, Bhagavan says. All that auspiciousness and abundance flow through us when we declare that Paramashiva is who we are, and all that manifests is Para Shakti. Here, beautifully, Bhagavan gives us the power of translating unknown languages. They have translated the word Swarupa, and she found the meaning that it is a one who devoted to the truth. That is a beautiful space that devotee has explained how she has manifested the power of Sarvangyatva. You're going to translate English to unknown language or unknown language to English. Either way is fine. You can use Google Translation for verification. If you have a partner, you can ask the partner to give you a sentence, or you can take few sentences and start translating it in Sanskrit or any language that you don't know anything about. And simply you can see how Bhagavan is going to manifest through you. And we have seen many times, this is a very common thing, that was a child in the Paramashivam program, and she was crying for a few days because she doesn't know that she cannot speak in English. She can only understand. And she was a French kid, and she went to Darshan, asked Bhagwan that I want to download English, and the very next day she started speaking in English. Yes, when you start speaking, you will usually make so many grammatical mistakes, the accent will be wrong, but she was a fluent English speaking kid. How can a kid just learn overnight the language and grammatically correct the first time she starts talking, and without stammering or trying to find words? And she was crying till that day that she doesn't like the program because everybody speaks in English and not in French. And suddenly the whole thing shifted and she just started speaking in English. We have seen so many times the Balasans, how they don't know Tamil, they come from different parts of India, and a Telugu kid was struggling how he can conduct a Tamil show, TV show, and Bhagwan blessed him. The very next day, he went on the show and started speaking in Tamil fluently. That is where we get a shock. How can you just download a language where it becomes just fluent the next day and you start talking? That has happened many times that we have witnessed in Gurukul. Now it is for each one of us to experience all these great truths in our life as our reality. So let's start. If you have a video camera, please record these great videos which you will cherish forever. All these great things that Bhagavan is telling us to do. Simple integrity, simple obedience. We will cherish the ultimate space of oneness again and again. So apply the Jnananjan. If you have the Kantamala, there's a locket and you can apply the Jnananjan in your temple and your third eye. If you do not have, apply the Basma and Kumkum, which from any temple, that is also perfectly okay. And if you have a partner, you can ask the partner to write down few sentences from a different language, or they can give it in English and you can translate into some languages that you have never known before. Whatever you perceive, just start writing it down, and at the end, if you see 5 to 10 words continuously, absolutely write in the other language, or the translation is so beautifully done, then you have manifested the powers completely. But if you just feel the Kundalini energy and if you feel only the heat in the body or just got 1 or 2 words correct, That's beautiful. You have started manifesting. First, we need to understand we are manifesting constantly our life. We are consciousness who has come, and we also manifest our body, and through this body we experience the five senses. Everything that happens is a manifestation, and understanding this as a manifestation, and everyone that we have are the different shapes and size of ourself who are projected as our own reality. How in the dream you project, that is exactly how you're projecting right now also. So if you understand that, you will not be angry with somebody. Your right hand never gets angry with the left hand, even though it hurts sometimes the other hand. It is always in oneness how your microcosm works in your body. If you understand that, that is exactly how your outer reality is also. Everything that exists is a perception of you, and the existential reality is much different, where you are consciousness, which becomes the matter also, and which you perceive also. Such a beautiful space starts manifesting as reality. Now, let's go to the instruction. Let's sit straight with the head, neck, and spine. Few minutes of meditation, deep meditation, will put you in such an auspicious abundance healing space for yourself and whoever is next to you. Just sitting in this session with so many of hundreds of us meditating on Paramashiva is the most beautiful space that we can experience. So visualize Paramashiva and verbalize whatever Bhagwan gave, the whole definition of collective consciousness, how we happen in others' life as others' reality is nothing but our own reality. Again and again understanding the others are nothing but the reflection of us, fulfilling different parts of us, and understanding that in a deeper and deeper sense, we'll understand that you are Paramashiva. Each one of us are Paramashiva, manifesting as Para Shakti. Everything that exists is Paramashiva, manifesting as Para Shakti. So complete completion, making everything redundant other than that. If you get a problem in your dream, will you go and get it fixed when you get up? No. If you have a problem, will you put a plaster on a mirror? No. Same way, all these problems, do not carry it on you. Make it redundant and irrelevant so that you can drop it and be in the oneness with Paramashiva. Paramashiva beautifully says how the churning, if you churn the milk and you find out churn the curd, you will find out there is butter in it, and inside the butter there is ghee in it. Like that, if you churn yourself and complete with all this incompletion, you will find Paramashiva in it and Para Shakti in it, manifesting all your reality. Hold that space and chant the Mahavakya. Deeply, when you chant the Mahavakya, you will start experiencing that complete completion, that oneness space with Paramashiva. Entangling with Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya. You can chant any of the Mahavakya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, and hold the Ishtadevata or Bhagavan himself in your inner space, and start continuously holding and chanting the Mahavakya. Whatever occurs, write it in a sheet of paper. At the end of the cycle, we'll verify whether those words are aligning to what Google Translation says. So let's start the power of Sarvanyatva, all-knowingness, chanting the Mahavakya intensely, whole being vibrating with that, and listening to the chanting that you are chanting. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya.
Ananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. You can open your eyes. Whatever Paramashiva has given, now verify with a Google translator how these translation matches with your words that you have downloaded as prasada from Paramashiva. All the gifts that Bhagavan is showering on each of us should make us understand that what in the space Bhagavan is waiting for each one of us to awaken to the higher reality. Bhagavan beautifully says how it is already existing in us and he's just making us realize the whole thing. Like somebody has lost their glasses and they're searching and somebody says, hey, your glasses is on you. And you say, oh yeah. And Bhagavan says like that, we will just recognize our space of Paramashiva and say, yes, I am Paramashiva. Everything is manifesting in me. Wow. I'm so happy I can recognize that. And that is the most beautiful space when that happens. That is exactly how these balasans manifest and they say, oh my God, I am Kalabhairava. I am able to do the Akashic reading. I am able to see the golden letters. All these greater truth, when it becomes the reality in you, you start recognizing your higher self. And that is the integrity that Bhagavan is saying. How you have to be integrated to your higher self, you're earning to know that, seeking that. Simply your earning becomes reality that you know you are Paramashiva, like Bhagavan staying with you 24/7, a physical presence of him and manifesting all the things that ultimate reality is. So that is the most beautiful space of oneness with Paramashiva. Surrendering yourself in such a way that you are completely redundant and only Paramashiva manifests through you. And beautifully, we'll have one more cycle and completely let's get into the oneness space with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Sarvajñatva. And write down whatever occurs, and at the end, if you've manifested the powers, please share even as a little. When you start sharing, that is when things become more stable and you start seeing that power manifestation is not something which happens for somebody or balasans, but it is you who is experiencing that, and you are superconscious being. If you're doing such complicated things of digesting your food into blood and making it go to your brain and all the functions that the brain does and the heart does and the lungs does, so much of complication, if you're able to manifest that, simply you can manifest downloading few words. That is much easier than all this Bhagavan says. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine. Put away your gadgets for a few minutes. Let's get into the deep oneness with Paramashiva and chant the Mahavakya. Bring the visualization, verbalization of everything that you know as Paramashiva in your third eye. Unclutch from everything else, including your body. Just merge into the sound of Mahavakya and oneness with Paramashiva, Shaktipada, and experience the power of Sarvajñatva. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Keep the paper ready to start noting down all the details. Whatever comes to you, start writing down. Don't judge anything. and simply you'll see the correct answers also among that. So start writing down all the things and let's start chanting deeply the Paramashiva Mahavakya.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnanam Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnanam Paramashivam. 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 Om नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ 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 नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva stir manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Om Nityananda Paramashivam 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 Om Nityananda.
So beautiful. Whatever you have received as prasada, please share with the world. That is collective integrity. More and more, each one of you sharing with the world, the world will become such a beautiful place. Share your whatever pre-satsang, your cognitions on the power manifestation, on the satsang experiences, breakthroughs, and whatever you have recorded or taken picture. Authentically share with your social media platforms or in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. Tag it to your friends and family. Every time you share with your teamly, you expand more and more. You understand you are Paramashiva and they are also Paramashiva, manifesting in different forms and shapes. Once you understand that, you will not feel anything else other than you will only feel more enriched and more powerful. Sharing with the world, enriching and causing, Bhagavan says, I myself will be there and cause others reality. That is nothing but your own reality. And if you see a $sign at the end of the YouTube chat, you can click on it and offer $1, a gratitude space for whatever Bhagavan is showering for all of us. Again and again, he is giving us all these great truths because of the Kailasha, and contributing to Kailasha is the best thing that you can offer in deep gratitude in oneness with Paramashiva. So let's surrender all that powerful cognition and power manifestation to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Thank Bhagavan for whatever he has shown us, and with the deep gratitude and earning, ask Bhagavan to make Paramashiva as your reality. And thank each one of you to create such a beautiful space to manifest the powers today. So with that, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you again at 6 p.m. in the Zoom session. You can log in through eKailasha for our next power manifestation session. Nithyanandam.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு கூடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாதே சாக்காடு பிடிமூப்பு அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கூத்தாடும் சடையாண்டி அதை குறியா கொண்டாரே காத்தோடு கதை பேசி சிவஞானம் கண்டாரே பத்தோட ஓரட்டு பத்தோட 18 சித்தர்கள் விளையாட்டு எத்தனை பேருக்கு தந்தாரோ கையாட்டு சித்தங்கா போக்கு சிவம் போக்கு என சொன்னாரே பித்தங்கா போக மருந்தாக தனம் வந்தாரே வடகாசி தென்காசி வழியோரன் சித்தரடி அடியாத்தி முடிஞ்சாக்கா அடையாளம் கண்டுபிடி கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு கூடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாதே சாக்காடு பிடிமூப்பு அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கூத்தாடும் சடையாண்டி அதை குறியா கொண்டாரே காத்தோடு கதை பேசி சிவஞானம் கண்டாரே பத்தோட ஓரட்டு பத்தோட 18 சித்தர்கள் விளையாட்டு எத்தனை பேருக்கு தந்தாரோ கையாட்டு சித்தங்களுக்கு சிவம் போக்கு என சொன்னாரே பித்தங்கா போக மருந்தாக தனம் வந்தாரே வழிதோர சித்தரடி அடியாத்தி முடிஞ்சாக்கா அடையாளம் கண்டுபிடி கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு கூடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாதே சாக்காடு பிடிமூப்பு அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஊரறியே பேரறியே உறவறியே தவத்துறவறியே உள்ளொன்று புறம் ஒன்று பேசறிய உமை சிவன் போலே வேறறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர கணக்கறிய நாளும் கோளும் நான் அறிய பாலையும் சோலையும் பிரித்தறிய பரம பரஞ்சோதி அடி சிறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர 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 ரகர சிவ 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 அரகர அரகர சிவ 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 அரகர அரகர சிவ 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 அரகர அரகர சிவ 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 அரகர அரகர.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவசமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்யபர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம்.